4.1 is all about role-based access control and service accounts, and it includes the following 5 benchmarks: limiting the cluster admin role, minimizing access to secrets, minimizing wildcard use, minimizing access to the creation of pods, and limiting the use of the default service accounts. The cluster admin role should only be used when absolutely necessary. When used in a cluster role binding, it gives full control over every resource in the cluster. And when used in a role binding, it gives full control over every resource in the role binding's namespace. Access should also be restricted to secrets stored by Kubernetes API. Access to these secrets can allow an attacker to gain additional access to the Kubernetes cluster or external resources whose credentials are stored as secrets. 4.1 requires that you limit the use of wildcards, which can be used for objects or actions. Use of wildcards when creating roles and cluster roles may inadvertently be too permissive and therefore conflict with the principle of least privilege. You'll also want to limit the ability to create pods in a namespace or create pod security policies, as pods can create a number of opportunities for privilege escalation. And keep in mind, by default, all pods get a service account token mounted in them, but they don't need them unless the workload requires communication directly with the API server. And lastly, default service accounts should not actively be used. If all these requirements are met, then you can ensure compliance with 4.1 of the CIS benchmarks for Google Kubernetes Engine.